Hey friends, what's going on? It's Mr. Stanley, and I have the absolute privilege of giving you the last math video of third grade for the 2021 year. If you're listening this to me in a future year, welcome to the past. So anyway, put those math hoodies on and let's get going on some more Geoboard exploration. Today, we're going to look at some more fractions. Yesterday, we looked at a whole piece or a whole fraction as one whole piece, and then we actually divided that up into halves. But today we're going to look at some other fractions, the word that I keep thinking about is called a unit fraction. And a unit fraction is when we have the numerator on top and the denominator on bottom. That means that one is that unit fraction, which means there's only one unit involved or one piece out of the whole. So let me erase that real quick. And we're going to take a look at something else. So if you're following along at home, or if you're following along and you have this app or a Geoboard, I'd like for you to make your Geoboard look like mine. So I'm going to take some rubber bands and I'm going to put my first one across like this to make it half, kind of like we did yesterday. But today I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to add it here and move it across. And then I'm going to take a third rubber band and I'm going to move it here, and a fourth rubber band and move it here. So now I'm going to label each of my sections that I have today, and we're going to talk about that unit fraction. So each of these parts are going to be part of the whole. So I think I might be able to do it this way. Let's see. I was wondering if I could actually just do just one, but okay. So anyway, so what we'll do is we will talk about each part. So I'm going to label each one with a letter, and let's do yellow for this. I'm going to do A for this big part. I'm going to do B for this part here. I'm going to do C, D, and E. So now the challenge is I'd like for you to write down the fraction of what you think each letter is worth. What unit fraction is each letter worth? Pause the video and see if you can find it out. Okay, now that you're back, let's take a look at letter A. A, like we said yesterday, we had 8 different squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in our little grid. And 8 of 16 would be half. 8/16 is equal to 1/2. So A is equal to 1/2. So if I look at B, now I need to figure out how many 4 of those squares would be. Well, if I'm thinking in terms of numbers, I could think that, okay, well, I know 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. If I were to think of every section of that, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections. So this B right here must be 1/4. Let's skip down here and take a look at E, because it actually has a little less boxes than 4, but now my fractions, you can see my unit fractions are actually getting smaller, but that denominator continues to get bigger. And like I like to say with my students, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So in this case, we have smaller pieces of our whole entire thing. We have 2 out of 16. Well, if you were thinking that this is 2/16, you're correct. But there's actually another way we could simply write it, and that is we could write it as 1/8. So every 2 boxes is worth an eighth. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So we have 1/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different parts. Now we cut that shape again in half. Look at our denominators. Half of 2 is 4. Half of 4 is 8. Oh my gosh, what's half of 8? Oh, the denominator doubles. I see. So now I could call these 1/16 because each box is 1 out of the 16. So if I took some of these boxes and I added them together, let's think about this. If I took C plus D, what does that equal? If you're thinking it equals E, you're correct. Because 1/16 plus 1/16 is equal to 1/8. Because I took my two doubles and made them into a bigger piece. But the denominator got smaller. So 2/16 is equal to 1/8. So I could think about some other equations too. I could think about B, C, D, and E being equal to A. So B plus C plus D plus E is equal to A. Or 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/16 plus 1/16 is equal to 1/2. It sounds like a lot, but really, and when you think about it, is we're taking these 16 squares and we're splitting them up into unit fractions to make much bigger fractions. So now what we have to do is we're going to take a look at a new challenge. And the challenge is going to be from a workbook page that I've posted in today's assignment. And that is the page of 216. And I think I have it right here for us. And here we have a new version of an A, B, C, D, and E. And I would like for you to take these lines down here, and I would like for you to label each of our A, B, C, D, E, and see if you can come up with some pluses, like add A and B. What do you get? Add A, B, C, D, and E. Or I'm sorry, add B, C, D, and E. What do you get? Well, I'm already kind of seeing one right here, this A one, and it reminds me of something that we did in yesterday's assignment from session 1. So your assignment today is to try some Geoboard fractions, which are labeling A, B, C, D, and E, and then trying writing some equations similar to what I did here today, where I'm trying to add up the fractions, or the unit fractions, to make some bigger and equal fractions. So once you're finished with that, the student practice today is 217. And good luck with your Unit 6 post-assessment coming up at the end of the week to review all of those wonderful geometrical shapes and how they relate to fractions and all the vocabulary that goes with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and have a good one.